G'day and welcome to another week of Friends of Oris. I've got my usual sidekick here, Warren.
Can't get rid of me.
And Warren, exciting stuff this week, really exciting stuff. There's been a lot of talk about it for the last year, but finally we've got ourselves on a Chronoris GP70.
Yes, I think it's exciting. It's good to have something that's not a diver for a change. And as you know, I love the motorsport chronographs.
And they're limited to 1,970. And the rationale from that is when they first released the original Chronoris back in 1970, and that association with Formula One and the golden period of Formula One. So your watches will be numbered from 1 to 1,970. Well, what are some of the technicals, Warren, for this watch?
Okay, they've increased the case size from the older original Chronoris, and it's gone to 42.5 millimetres. That's up from 40 millimetres, obviously. It just reminds me of the old watches from the 70s, which have that, what you might describe as a cushion-shaped case. Just a nice piece of nostalgia. And it now has the quick lock crown, but only a 50-metre water resistance instead of the 100 metres.
And what movement are they using in that?
The movement in this is a 677 Oris movement, which equates to 7754 ETA with the GMT module.
It is a fabulous movement. They've required extra power to run this watch, and that's why they've put that one in. Now, there was early speculation and talk, and I was a little concerned that the dial was going to be a little complicated. But from my point of view, I think it's superbly balanced.
There is a lot of information on this dial. A lot of people have said that they think it's a busy dial. When it's on your wrist, I don't believe it looks that way. It all kind of tends to blend in a little bit. But of course you've got your tachymeter scale on the uppermost part of the bezel. Next in from that is your 24-hour scale for your GMT. But they sit quite nicely together, and I like the way, particularly with the GMT scale, they've split it up into like a daylight and a nighttime effect. You've got your darker British Racing green on this side and the white on this side, and I think it's a nice touch.
And they come in this fabulous display kit with a set of driving gloves.
Absolutely, yes. Nice soft kid leather. Beautiful case, like Smithy was saying. It's actually very nicely made with the leather, and the Oris logo on the back is quite nicely done as well.
An extra feature that they've included, and Warren explained this, is the 10-minute countdown. How did they sneak that in there, Warren?
I think it's really quite smart. They've effectively put one more complication into the watch without actually needing to add any extra complication into the movement. All they've done is they've extended the bottom part of the hand in your minute counter downwards and put a 10-minute scale that corresponds to it. So you can count down from 10 minutes.
Now there's a slight variation on the original photograph work that Oris released on that 10-minute countdown. That pointer isn't a full-length green pointer. It's only green on the tip. I think that fits quite well on your wrist, Warren, there, and it doesn't sit too high or too proud.
I don't think so. It certainly doesn't sit any higher than my Williams team chronograph. Even the fact that it is a slightly smaller case, I think it wears quite nicely on the wrist. It is a smaller watch, but
now, the red rotor has engraved on the back Grand Prix 70 to identify it for its limited edition. But talking even more limited edition is the step up to the GP70 Gold Limited Edition. This is a pretty substantial step up for Oris.
You're talking about a solid gold 18-carat rose gold case. That's a lot of precious metal.
They're only going to be limited to 70 units. I think it's a classic now. It will be a classic in the future, and it's going to be up there with the Charlie Parker, being one of those watches that Oris fans will be desperate to have their hands on.
Actually, Smithy, I was thinking, you're a big F1 and motorsport fan.
Nut. Yeah.
An absolute nut. Why are you wearing a Miles?
That's my days as a jazz musician. So there's a balance there. And now that the GP70 is out, well, you might just see a little bit of a change from the miles, I must admit.
I think it needs to happen.
A fantastic watch, Warren. I'm really excited about what Oris have done with this watch and where it's going to go in the future. Like I said, I think it's a classic now, and it's going to be a classic in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all for this week. I hope to see you guys out there on the forum. Keep all the questions coming in the discussion about Oris, and we'll see you guys later.
Okay, 42.5. Let me do that again. I'm scratching my head.
Don't scratch your head.
No?
Yeah. Discussion about Oris, and we'll see you guys later.
And it's nice to see that I've lured you over to the dark side, Smithy.
I look like your brother.